Hi everyone, yasas que kalos tirtate to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make the classic Spanakorizo. It's a spinach and rice pilaf that's made with loads of spinach, a little bit of rice and herbs. It's so good, and of course it's slightly lemony and refreshing. It's simple to make and goes good with literally everything. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to begin with a red onion. I'm not going to use the whole thing because this is pretty big and I'm not making that big of a batch, but you can use the whole thing if you want more flavor. You're just going to go ahead and finely chop it and add it to the pot with lots of olive oil. You could add a quarter cup of olive oil or as much as your heart desires. Cook the onion over medium-low heat until it's nice and soft and translucent. You don't want to get any color on it. In the meantime, we'll cut up the garlic cloves. So I have 6 large garlic cloves here. I'll use the back of my knife and some pressure to just smash them up a little bit. That way the skin comes off easily, or the peel. And I'm just going to slice the garlic up into rounds. I don't grate the garlic for this recipe because when the garlic cooks with the onion and then with the spinach, it's going to soften up and mellow up, and it's just going to add such good flavor. And this brings me back to childhood. The garlic pieces in the Spanakorizo have always been my favorite. I don't know if it's traditional, but that's how my mom makes it, and I've always made it that way. The onion is ready. It's already softened up quite a bit. I'll add the garlic in right now. And technically you could add the garlic at the beginning too, because it takes a little while for it to cook, probably around the same time that it takes the onion to cook. So I'm gonna let this go for another 4 or 5 minutes, or until the garlic is nice and soft as well. And then we're gonna add the spinach. So lots of spinach goes in this recipe. There's actually more spinach than rice in Spanakorizo. You can use 1.5 to 2 pounds of baby spinach leaves. I'm using 2 pounds today. So we'll add the spinach in a little bit at a time, seasoning each batch with a pinch of salt and freshly cracked black pepper. I'll increase the heat to medium-high so that way the spinach wilts quickly. Once all of the spinach is in there and it's nice and wilted, it's time to add the rice. I'm using Arborio rice today. Carolina rice is a rice that's used in Greece for pilafi, which is very similar to a risotto. So you can use Arborio rice for this, or a medium grain rice, whatever you have on hand. We'll add the rice right now, some salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. Since I'm adding 1/2 cup of rice, I'll add 1/2 teaspoon of salt to this, and then 1 cup of water. As soon as the mixture heats up and comes to a boil, I'll reduce the heat to low, put the lid on, and this is gonna cook for about 15 minutes until the rice starts to soften and become nice and tender. I'll also finely chop some fresh dill. Dill is almost a must in Spanakorizo. If you don't like it, you can substitute parsley instead, but I love the dill in here. You want a nice big tablespoon of it once you're done chopping up the dill really finely. The dill is gonna go in the Spanakorizo with a little bit of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice always. And then just to add some depth of flavor, I'll add 1/2 teaspoon of dried mint. Fresh mint would do too. Just mix it all up and just let this simmer for another 4 or 5 minutes, and then it's ready to serve. You can also drizzle some more olive oil into the pot, or you can serve this drizzled with olive oil onto your plate, some fresh lemon juice, of course some feta cheese, and it is ready to eat. Okay, so just like that, it's ready, and as you see, there's more spinach in this than rice, and that's how a classic Spanakorizo is. I have shared a recipe with a lighter version that has more rice than spinach. It's more like a pilaf than this. This is made this way to be served more as a main course. It comes from the category in Greek foods known as lavera, which are olive oil based dishes, which are usually vegetarian or vegan, and they're served as a main course, and there's so many veggies in them. That's how this is traditionally made. But if you want to learn how to make the other version, which has some more rice in it, and I make it with basmati rice, and more of like for a side, you can click down below and I'll put the link down there so you could watch that recipe if you haven't already. This smells so good, I have to taste it. And I want to make sure I get a garlic, because that's the best part. It's creamy and it melts in your mouth, and it's just so lemony and good. I like to serve this with some feta cheese and lemon wedges on the side, lots of toasted hearty bread just to soak up all that olive oil and those juices. It goes good with seafood if you're making shrimp or chicken, or if you want to make a bowl out of this, you can fry some keftedes or grill some biftekia, which are basically like meatballs, and it just goes really well together. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. The exact measurements are on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. You can head on over there to print this recipe out. If you'd like to learn the other version of Spanakorizo, you can click right here, and I'll see you over there. Yes, us.